So my story is a little different. I feel like all of you guys do such like amazing like groundwork stuff and like real life stuff, and I'm like filming videos from my house. But I'm a YouTuber. So growing up, I'm trans. Hi, I'm trans, and I started realizing I was trans in my later teenage years, and I started making a ton of friends in the LGBT community, people that at the time were a great comfort to me, people who I could confide in, relate to, etc. It was great. And then I got into college, and college was a huge changing time for me as far as how I viewed the world. I started realizing that there was no room on my liberal college campus for any disagreement on anything, in the slightest.
True.
I did a video about this, but I had one experience that really made me start questioning a lot. So I was in a psychology class, and the professor was very much a militant feminist, very liberal, and was very unabashed about sharing that, which is fine. I guess I can respect she shared it up front, but it was a little frustrating sometimes. And we had a class on domestic violence and women who are victims of domestic violence. And the whole room, all the women were going around telling their story. It was very heartfelt. I was crying, bitch, like everyone was crying. And at the end of the class, towards the end of the class, there was a guy who stood up and he wanted to tell his story. And he started talking about how he escaped a situation with an ex who had tried to murder him, had beaten him, had cheated on him, just abused him really badly. And the entire class of feminists, liberals, etc., burst into laughter at his story. And I was like really, really taken aback by that, and it really made me start questioning the people that I was surrounding myself with, because all my friends were leftists at this point. And then because of that experience, I made a YouTube video talking about it. And then overnight, my channel kind of took off, changed my life overnight, and changed my friends overnight. So I started being more and more open about my political beliefs, about the things, liberal ideology I disagreed with, which at the time was not even as much as now. I feel like I've probably gotten further right from my experience of being open about my opinions. But at the time, I lost every single friend I ever had. I had friends that would go to our other friend's house and they'd sit in a circle and watch my videos and like laugh and like talk shit. And it was just very eye-opening to realize that these people were not my friend because I was trans, and they wanted to be there for me and support me, and they were my friend because they thought I was liberal. And I think that speaks volumes about what happened at the LGBT Center. I tweeted them and I said, I think you guys, if you're gonna, ban us from stepping foot on the premises because of our political beliefs, you shouldn't be called the LGBT Center. You should be called the liberal LGBT Center. Because at the end of the day, every single person on this panel is still LGBT. And I personally, when I started my transition, the LGBT Center was a great resource to me. They actually sent an escort with me to court to change all my documents legally. And to know that same organization 3 years later is putting out slander and just like crazy stuff about me and banning me is really, really interesting. I don't personally feel like anyone up here has ever done or said anything too crazy to like talk in public. I think, it was just disappointing, but I really think that we're on the cusp of something different. I think the fact that this event is even happening shows that there's a lot changing in the country. I can't even tell you how many emails, messages, comments I get from people telling me, I'm trans, I'm gay, I'm bi, whatever, and I cannot be open about almost anything I believe politically because I'd lose all my friends, I'd lose respect, I would fail classes. I remember I had a rant. I had a teacher who made us do a BuzzFeed quiz about, it was to determine how racist we were. It was the How Racist Are You BuzzFeed quiz. And so when she assigned that, I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I know who I am as a person, I know I'm not racist, why would I do that? So I wrote an entire report on how stupid and unscientific it was, and I failed the class. So to that I say, like, maybe sometimes in college courses, like, lie a little bit just to pass the class and then affect change later when you have your degree. I don't know where I was. Yeah, I think it's really, really cool you all are here because I think things are changing in the country. I live in Hollywood and there's a bunch of gay clubs there and I like going to them. And I get people coming up to me all the time who are like on the low, like, hey, come over. I really love your channel. I really love your, stuff online, but I don't want to be seen with you. And it's okay, I get it because at the end of the day, it was kind of a sacrifice to make political videos and be open about who I am, but not everyone is like willing to do that. I totally get that, but yeah, I think that's about it. That was my story as well, and thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it.